Numerology, the two most important charts. We learn to calculate on our own. These graphs represent the ratio of fatal forces in a person's life, that is, fate, with the ability of a person to independently choose his life path, that is, will. In a person's life, there are periods when external laws dominate him so much that no one's own will can go against these laws. At other times, the actions of external forces weaken, and then, free choice, gets a kind of green street, or green light, in a different language. Only now, a person does not know when exactly the right time comes for his efforts, so he often bangs his forehead against the wall. And as a result, he gets nothing but bumps. This technique, based on a unique system, tells a person in which periods of life it is worthwhile to go with the flow, that is, not to contradict external circumstances, and in which to actively achieve their goals on their own. You will learn about this by watching this video, and also learn how to do the calculation yourself. Let's show the calculation of graphs by example. Take the date of birth, October 25, 1962. The fate graph is calculated as follows. Multiply the number made up of the numbers of the day and the month of birth, the year of birth. If a 6-digit number is obtained in the product, then we put 0 before the first digit. On the horizontal axis we put 6 points that correspond to the most significant period in a person's life. 0 is birth, 12 years is maturity, 24 years is independence, 36 years is social maturity, maximum creative possibilities. 48 the prospect of achieving a social takeoff. And so on, until the age of 72. Every point, after 12 years. 72 years is the cycle of life. Then a new circle begins. The calculation of the will graph is done in the same way as the fate graph, only before that we replace zeros with ones. In this example, instead of 10, we take 11. And we get two graphs, the fate graph and the will graph. Let's look at the result. We will tell you what these graphs mean a little later. Let's take a look. For example, the schedule of President Vladimir Putin. He was born on October 7, 1952. Look at the plot, from about 1996 to 2000. Since August 1996, Vladimir Putin has been invited to work in Moscow. In the position of Deputy Managing Director of the President. On March 26, 2000, Putin was elected President of Russia. It was during this, the most important period in Vladimir Putin's biography, that the line of fate exceeded the line of will. It means that his high appointment to the post of President of Russia was predetermined by fate. The lines on the charts can go relative to each other in different ways. Consider the options. The line of fate over the line of will. If the line of fate rises up on the chart and dominates the line of will, it shows the strengthening of the lessons of fate, the tightening of the dictate of external circumstances. During such periods of life, it is not necessary to take great initiative and make strong-willed actions. There is no need to break into a closed door, but it is better to go with the flow. That is, if you are sent on a business trip, then you should not hesitate whether to go or not. Go ahead. If you are offered to start your own business, start. If something does not work out for a long time and tediously, do not resist and do not waste your strength. Leave it alone. Do as it turns out. The next option is when the line of fate is under the line of will. During these periods, the line of fate falls low, and the line of will rises above it. A person should actively use this time and not postpone their own projects for tomorrow, but act, make great efforts. Freedom of choice comes to the fore, and the effect of external circumstances becomes insignificant. They no longer inhibit the will of man. During this period, a person can and should implement their personal programs. On fate. During this period, you should not rely, but do your own life. Such schedules call for mobility to activity. Now let's talk about the signs that occur on the charts. The intersection points of the line of fate and will are the intersection of the line of fate and will, very responsible, and one can say unfavorable periods of life, for any innovations. 6 months before and 6 months after, this moment can be called conditionally a sanitary zone, during which profound changes in the energy informational structure occur. Human. In such periods of time, you should not take any drastic steps, change jobs, get married, move to a new apartment, and the like. Variants when the line of fate and will go together are called the hermit's way. In this case, a person obeys cosmic laws. He conducts the will of the cosmos as much as possible. However, this does not mean that a person cannot do anything. Just intuitive understands that he should not go against fate. Such a person has really little choice. He can survive only if at any given moment he adjusts to the dictates of external circumstances. Such a schedule can be called monastic, since it is the monks who learn to obey fate as much as possible. When external circumstances, they act as a conductor. Naturally, there are more people who have free choice than those who have the same line of fate and will. However, certain periods of life that fall under the characteristic, the way of the hermit, are quite common. But back to our calculations. As you can see, for people born in the last months of the year, that is, December and November, the schedules of fate and will practically coincide. This is also a feature that allows these people to live in harmony with fate and their own strength. In the next video, I will tell you how to independently calculate the energy schedule of a person's life, which shows energy throughout life. This graph is interesting because when combining the graph, two people can determine their compatibility. See you soon.